Click, click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Mike. I got Nick. I'm here with my slick back man, Dylan. What's going on? The pimp named Slickback. That's Dylan over there, guys. We are here with Nothing But Niners. We're here to bring you guys a raw, live reaction to the embarrassing loss of a game where we lost our quarterback. We lost the game. A lot of players lost their pride, which you can see. But perhaps there was a silver lining. We're going to get to that. But before we do, I'm going to toss to my man, Nick. Nick, what's going on? Tell everybody how you doing. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on, faithfuls? Hey, I had the pleasure of actually watching a game with Mike today, sitting in the living room, chilling out, yelling and screaming as much as we possibly could. Man, I got a lot to get into. We're going to make this a quick one, but I got a lot to get into. But Dilly, what's going on, man?
My man Dylan over here.
Super excited about the way the game ended.
When was the last time the fans actually cheered for a loss?
This is one of my, besides the win, this is my happiest moment of the season.
By far, easy, right? We're going to get into all that talk, but we should just touch on a little bit of the negatives first, I think.
Why? Okay, so hear me out.
Quickly, it's quick.
Well, no, because the negative,
the same shit every day.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So why even waste time with that negative bullshit, man? Look, CJ Beathard's bum ass is out, and it's time for Jimmy Garoppolo to be in. Like, why?
Look, I can do it real quick.
Go ahead.
Jimmy Garoppolo was good. Everything else sucked. We're done with the negatives.
That's it. That's it, right? Okay, all right. So
you can't mix positives and negatives in there.
Right, everything sucked.
This isn't the new historic error.
The new historic error. That's funny. I see what you did there.
Yeah, the new historic.
Why ain't this shit opening it? All right, so no, all jokes aside, this game took us exactly back to where we were when we first started the CJ Beathard era. The 10 points a game, they're doing absolutely nothing. If you were to take out that Giants game, it's the same exact CJ Beathard we've seen since his first start, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying about negatives. Why do we want to see Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Everybody's like, oh, you can't see him right now. You can't put him behind that dismal line that you guys have or that we have or however you want to say it. But, dude, the guy is a quarterback. He's been a quarterback since probably the age of 5 or 6, and his pocket presence is horrible. Like, I mean, a lot of those plays where he was doing the
butt.
Yeah. Work it.
My bad.
Yeah. But when he was doing the zone read, the ball, running into defenders, instead of handing the ball off where there was a lane, it's just, I don't know, man. His pocket presence, he didn't look like he was stepping up in the pocket today. He was going backwards more than he was going forwards. He was turning sideways, running to the right, running to the left. It reminded me of Brian Hoyer out there. And I was big on Hoyer, and it was time to get Hoyer out of the game. But why aren't we doing that with CJ? I mean, CJ could not get anything going today. And, like we said on our halftime Periscope that got banned. Thank you, whoever. But, why are we not just throwing Jimmy out there, Dilly?
I think it was a little bit of what you hit on. I mean, everybody's just trying to protect him. Most people in the 49ers fan world believe that Jimmy could be our future quarterback. And I'm one of those included. And for a while, I've been on the fence because I'm not sure. I want to protect him too because that offensive line is absolutely terrible. But he did better than I thought he would in this short amount of time. And even with a terrible offensive line and receivers,
is absolutely terrible.
He
did better than I thought he would.
And
even with a terrible offensive line and
my bad. Go ahead. We had a little technical difficulty over here. My bad.
Okay. All I was saying was basically I kind of wanted to protect him for a while because I believe he's the future. That's probably what everybody else thought. And he got in there, and it was time to see him. I thought that this game was the time to see him too. But whenever he got in there, he played like we'd hoped he would. Yeah, it was a very short amount of time that we got to see him, but it was nice to see.
Let me run through the comments real quick in the live chat. We got Ryan Hudson. I don't care. Jimmy freaking G. Dave Lopez says, "What's up, NB Niners?" We got Go Hard here. Hey, what up with my dudes? Just checked y'all out on IG Live. Loved it. He didn't say the loved it part. I added that just to boost my confidence, you know. Dave Lopez says, "Most exciting loss ever. LOL. Not everything sucked." This is from Ryan Hudson again. Not everything sucked. You see Gold hit those field goals? Good point. Good point.
MVP.
Jimmy G looked good. This is from Sweet and Sour. He'll start next week. So, listen, man. Everything you guys said was 100% accurate, right? So it's not. It's a matter of, look, did Jimmy G come in and look good? Yes, but they were breakdown scramble kind of plays, right? Then the other thing, no, go, no, out. Sorry, guys, I got a little invasive 2-year-old just trying to come in here and take things over. I specifically asked her to stay downstairs. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And Nick's such a sucker. He was just gonna let her come right in.
Yo, they're too cute, man.
Whatever.
They're sweethearts, man.
You can't be a sucker like that. So here's the thing that pissed me off right now. Let me try to pull back and recap the game, okay? There was no protection. We get that, right? But when there was protection, he wasn't good. He was overthrowing Carlos Hyde as if he was 6'4". You know what I mean? How many passes did you see Carlos Hyde jumping up just to barely get his fingertips on the ball? You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't do anything. That's the first thing. Then there were times where, all right, the wide receivers are out. No one's in there. Let me ask you guys this question, right? Well, Ali's in here too. Let me ask you guys this question without looking it up. Who caught the touchdown pass?
Lewis Murphy.
I was too busy crying.
I was too busy crying. Did you know the answer? Ali was right. Did you know
Lewis Murphy.
Lewis Murphy. But my point is, we didn't even give a shit. That's my point. We saw quarterbacking. We saw the pocket collapsing around them, and someone step up and then move out of the pocket, facing the right direction to make the read and complete a pass. That's what we want. That's what we saw. You know what I mean? And so, Ali, what's going on, man? What's going on? How you feel about the game, bro? Let me mute the microphone. How'd you feel?
How you guys doing, man? First of all. All right. Good to hear it. How I felt about the game. Up until the last what is it, 30 seconds? It was a forgettable game, honestly. There was no like really splash plays. There was nothing really exciting we could really cheer about. We couldn't really get in behind anything all game. There was no momentum. The only real positive I felt the whole game was that drive coming out of the half. We had some nice plays string together there. Unfortunately, we couldn't convert that to a touchdown. But there was nothing really to grasp or cling on to for the game there, and it was just something that this team needed some sort of life or something like that. And I feel that at the end there, Jimmy definitely brought a different feel. I don't know if it was the fans cheering or if it was just Jimmy coming into the game, but it definitely brought a different feel those last 30 seconds. Other than that, the game was extremely forgettable, and it honestly sucks going 0-2 against the Hawks again this year. I don't know how many years that is in a row that we've gone 0-2 against them. If we don't beat the Hawks next year, I'm at least one game. I'm gonna leave this city. I'm moving. I'm moving to a different city.
You live in Canada. What does that have to do with it?
Well, Vancouver is right. Vancouver is right next to Seattle, and there's a bunch of Hawks fans. This is Hawks Nation over here, so I can't deal with this fan base anymore. So, yeah.
So there's two players, Eric Reed and Reuben Foster, have a problem with the fans cheering that Jimmy Garoppolo came in. Now, I want to say this. I even said myself, I was like, I was applauding that Jimmy Garoppolo was coming in. And I think everybody was. I was not applauding the fact that C.J. Beathard was injured. None of us wanted to see C.J. Beathard get injured. We all wanted to see him get benched. Okay? So if by chance these players aren't intelligent enough to decipher what was going on with all of that? Like, let me do it for you guys, okay? We were not cheering because of the injury. We were cheering because it was time to see a change at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
All right. So again, and I immediately tweeted, I'm glad to see Jimmy Garoppolo in there. However, I hope he heals up or whatever it was that I said on the tweet. I mean, you disagree with anything I'm saying?
I said before the game, if you remember, I don't think we see Jimmy today unless an injury.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is not how I want to see it. Like, I was complaining that I want to see Jimmy the whole game because Beathard wasn't playing a good game. But I don't want to see any NFL player get hurt. I mean, that's their job, their lively. Look, I really don't want to see anybody hurt. So, but I was not applauding that CJ was hurt. I was applauding that I wanted to see what Jimmy has. I think that it's time to see what Jimmy has. Nothing against CJ, but he's played 6 games? 6 games now?
5.5, 6, something like that, yeah.
So,
6.5.
You know, that's a quarter of the season. Hoyer played the rest of the quarter. Let Jimmy play it out and see what we got. Because I know we have a lot of cap space, but I'm not trying to sign a guy to a $20 million franchise tag and him not being anything. When we could literally let him play and let him know this system, it gets a jump start on the following year. Yes, I know we need help at offensive line. I know we need help in certain positions, but I don't know, man. That's just my feels. I got the dilly feels.
So what I won't do is pretend like I speak on behalf of all the 49er fans out there. I won't even pretend to speak on behalf of all nothing but Niners. So I'm going to ask you, Dylan, were you cheering when Jimmy Garoppolo came in? If so, why? And how'd you feel about C.J. Beathard getting injured?
Of course, I was excited to see Jimmy in because, like you guys just said, it was time to make a change. I was hoping that change would have been made before the game. And, of course, I did not want to see C.J. Beathard go down with an injury. I wanted to see him benched. But I never want to see a 49er go out with an injury. No matter how much bad stuff they do in a game, I want to see them in the football game and healthy. And if they don't need to be in the football game, then out of the football game. But I'm not going to cheer for anybody to be injured. I was excited that Jimmy Garoppolo was in the football game.
Absolutely. And Ali, man, you got to make sure you take yourself off mute because you were clicking or something over there. Couldn't hear. But I want to get your opinion on it also. How do you feel when Jimmy went into the game? And also, how do you feel seeing C.J. Beathard?
Seeing C.J. Beathard go down, I was gutted. The guy's a warrior, man. Like, he's behind a mishmash of an offensive line. So, you know, I didn't want to see him go down. But hell yeah, I was standing up and cheering to see Jimmy go in. And it was definitely long overdue. He should have been starting this game, in my opinion, from the start. So it was great to see him go in. And I am looking forward to next week against the Bears when we get to see him for a full game.
Maybe.
I don't know about maybe. I think he's starting for sure.
No, it's 100% a maybe. And I'm going to tell you why. So during Kyle Shanahan's press conference, he says someone asked him, so what are you guys going to factor into the next game and all that, and who's going to be your starter? And he was like, oh, we're going to go back and review the film, we'll see how the practice goes. And they said, well, Jimmy G's 3 plays factor into that at all? And he said, absolutely not. But by no means will those 3 plays factor in. Listen, if that's the case.
What is he supposed to say, though? Yeah, it's going to factor in. He wouldn't say that.
No,
he wouldn't say that, though.
Ali, those 3 plays absolutely have to factor in.
No, but he wouldn't say that. Even if it does factor in, he wouldn't say that.
Ali, I'm not saying that those 3 plays make the decision for you. I'm saying they factor in. I don't care if they're 1/20th of your decision.
I think what he's saying is he's just saying that they don't factor in.
No, exactly. Like what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's
with you that they factor in.
Exactly.
But he shouldn't have to say that. He shouldn't say, "Oh, they're going to factor in," or "They're not going to factor in."
No, the right.
Nick's hitting my point. Is he wouldn't say that. He would obviously it's not going to factor in.
My thing is this: it has to factor in. If practice reps factor in, there is no way 3 live game reps don't factor in.
No, but that's what he's trying to say.
So then his answer should have been, it's not going to make my decision for me. But yeah, of course, everything factors in, just like practice factors in.
Yeah, but do you really need to hear that from him?
You know that
it factors
in. You want me to tell you why I'm upset about this? Is because I honestly don't know if Kyle Shanahan thinks it's time to put Jimmy Garoppolo in. Why on God's earth?
I think he knows that it's time to put him in, but I think he's afraid to let CJ down. Because everything he has said, no, listen, if you think about it, listen to all his things. CJ's okay with this. CJ understands where we're going. I had to sit down and talk with CJ about when we drafted or when we went and traded for Garoppolo. CJ's this, CJ's that. Because CJ thought that he was his guy, just like Brian Hoyer did. And we've seen what the Niners did with Brian Hoyer. So now I don't know if he's protecting CJ.
Yo, Dylan, someone just said you look like Canelo Alvarez.
He's like, who's that?
Yo, we got Canelo in here too. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, I think he's protecting him a little bit.
All right.
I think he's protecting CJ.
So let's talk about protecting CJ and not the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and not the offensive line.
I'm going to bounce this back to Dylan. Talking about, do you think that you're basically saying that now? Before I give this to Dylan, let me make sure I got everything clear here. You're basically saying that Kyle Shanahan is guarding his feelings.
That's what I feel like.
Do you think the head coach of an NFL team should be guarding the feelings of a rookie quarterback or any player for that matter? It doesn't matter if they're or not.
And I don't think that's happening either. I think that's just one of those coach things to say, saying, nah, it's not going to affect my decision. That's just a coach thing to say. Coaches say things all the time that you know aren't true, and they know aren't true. It's just what they have to say. He knows that those three plays are going to factor in. He knows that Jimmy Garoppolo needs to be the starter now. He knows all of that. I think what he's thinking is, I want to put the best Jimmy Garoppolo in that I can. And the problem is we won't see the best Jimmy Garoppolo that we can until pretty much what he said next year, because he will not have the time to learn the playbook like Matt Ryan did.
Bro,
it's not going to be the best Jimmy Garoppolo, but it's better than the best CJ Beathard.
The worst Jimmy Garoppolo might be better than the best CJ Beathard. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
We saw Jimmy Garoppolo do 3 plays, both of which the passing plays. There were 3 plays. There were 2 passing plays, and then there was the play in the middle that was supposed to be a QB sneak that was penalized. So think about this. Jimmy Garoppolo ran 3 broken plays, 2 passes which the pocket collapsed immediately on both of them.
Did you take notice? I don't mean to cut you off. His eyes never left downfield. Not one time.
That's what I was getting to. He had 3 snaps. All 3 of those plays were broken plays. The penalty on the second play, the false start on, what was it, Magnuson?
Mm-hmm. Magnuson.
The false start on Magnuson or Fusco. One of those people on the right side of the line.
One of those terrible guys on the line.
Right. So he had both passing plays. The pocket immediately collapsed, and instead of turning his back to the defensive line and running away, the first thing he did was step up in the pocket, and then as the pocket continued to collapse, he found a hole and shifted to the left or to the right, all the while never taking his eyes off the receivers and scanning the field. He had to go through his progressions on that touchdown pass a full time and then still come back to the wide receiver to find Lewis Murphy for that touchdown. And you're going to sit here and tell me that, we're not going to see the best Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, the best CJ Beathard is ass cheeks, and we need to get rid of his ass. Like, listen, never mind. Ali, how do you feel about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yo, you're pumping me up right now just describing that. Oh my God, dude. Just the way he moved around in that pocket. It was like poetry in motion. Give me some, baby. Talk your shit, Mike. Woo! Woo! That shit got me hyped, baby. Oh. Jimmy G looked like a fucking, I don't even know, man. I'm ready to see this guy. Is the Bears game today or what? Let's go.
Yo, Cinnamon Kiss says in the room, she said Jimmy Pimp walked in and got the touchdown right off the bat.
3 plays. 3 plays, bro.
And it wasn't an easy throw either.
No.
It was a beautiful throw.
It was a beautiful throw. I mean, I was more excited about just the goddamn touching paint, but
yeah. I was excited about his movement in the pocket. I didn't expect the pass to be completed. He put it where only Murphy could. Guys, listen, man, and I'm not expecting every single snap to go like this or every play to go like this. But here's my thing specifically about coddling C.J. Beathard or protecting his feelings and all that kind of shit. It's locked. Here's my thing about all that, okay? And it's simply this. C.J. Beathard was never Kyle Shanahan's guy. He was a 5th or 6th round projected quarterback who Kyle Shanahan told the GM, hey, don't move up to get him. We can get him later. And the GM decided, you know what? I want you to get your guy, so let me just go ahead and do it now, and we can rest easy tonight. He was never meant to be the guy here in San Francisco. He was never supposed to be our starting quarterback. That was never the case. So we don't have to coddle this guy's feelings. Look, Duke, we appreciate everything you're doing, and I sincerely appreciate him trying. I appreciate the fun times that we had in the Giants game, but that's about it. I appreciate – no, I'm lying. He also had a very good 3 or 2.5 quarters against Washington. That were pretty exciting as well, bringing us back from that deficit. But other than that, this guy has been extremely bad. And I'm not saying that he has no place in the NFL. He'll make a great backup. If he can learn this playbook, he'll make a great backup. But that does not mean we got to sit here and coddle his feelings and say, oh, well, no, Jimmy Garoppolo's 3 really bad plays that he turned good don't factor into my decision. I would have said everything factors into my decision because that's what a head coach is supposed to do. We're supposed to look at everything. We're supposed to analyze everything. And we're supposed to come up with a conclusion based off of the information we gather. That's what you're supposed to do. What? Go ahead. That's all you wanted to say something.
No.
Oh, any comments or anything like that going on over there?
Yeah, so
nothing yet?
No.
You stop me when you find something.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my thing, guys, and I'm throwing this to you guys. I'm going to be super extreme. I might even backbite on this. I might backpedal later on. But I'm going to say this right now with no shame in my game. I'm going to pass it to Dylan. All right? If Jimmy Garoppolo is not starting against the Bears, I'm not watching the game. I'm not watching the game. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but there is no – I don't have to see C.J. Beathard take another snap to know what he's got and what he doesn't have. All right? And it's not about whether or not the offensive line can protect. The offensive line didn't protect Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not about whether or not he was missing wide open people when he had time. The 2-minute drill is the only time this team moved the ball. The only time. And it was just like that with Brian Hoyer, which is what Nick said in the very beginning. So I want to get your opinion on this, Dylan. What do you think about that, man?
What exactly are you looking for my opinion on?
I want to know how you feel. If Jimmy Garoppolo's not starting on Sunday, what do we do? Do we pick it? Do we just send vicious emails to the 49ers? Listen, John Lynch is all over Twitter. Like, do we just hound him all week long? Dude, you got to start this guy or you're just not getting our support anymore. Like, what do we do? Like,
we just
he has to start, right?
We just sit there and be sad because there's nothing else we can do. I mean, I think that we're going to get Jimmy Garoppolo as our starter next week. But, I mean, there's nothing we really can do. If they decide to put CJ in again, then oh well. I mean, nobody's saying it's the right decision, but at the same time as Kyle Shanahan's learning how to be a head coach too. He's a rookie. He's a rookie head coach. He's learning to say he can't make all the perfect decisions. John Lynch is a rookie general manager. Who knows what they're going to do? Who knows if it's the right move? But I mean, I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to be sad when we lose. And I'm still going to be happy when they make a good play, but
I promise at this moment, and like I said, I might renege on this, but I promise I'm not watching the game if Garoppolo's not starting. And I say that because I know what we're getting from C.J. Beathard. We have seen peak C.J. Beathard, and guess what? We only played the Giants one time this year. It's not going to happen again. We're not the Bears defense is 4 times as good as the Giants defense. We're not going to get it break. It's not going to get any easier. All right, it's not going to happen. Ali, how do you feel, man? Like, are you going to do anything? You're going to watch the game and just be happy about it?
I'm going to watch the game because I probably won't be happy about it, but I can't fathom Jimmy not starting. It doesn't make it. I don't see it how they have any excuse anymore. There's no oh, he's not ready. I've seen QBs come get signed or traded that have come in and learned a playbook off of like seven days of notice, or even 6 days. Whether it's thing, you can't tell me that Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't know the playbook after what, 3 weeks now. This will be 4 weeks, a month. What else does he need to know? You're sugarcoating it at this point. You're there's no excuse. The only excuse is you're trying to protect him.
You know what's funny is you could see when CJ was in the game and Garoppolo was on the sidelines, they panned to Garoppolo 1 minute and then panned back to CJ, and they were both doing the same thing after the play call went in. Both touched their heads and were just like, and then they panned back to CJ, and he's like touching his head. Like, he knows the playbook. He may not know all of it, but he's going to learn more if he takes more snaps. So,
it's one of those things like when you're at a job, when you're learning, if someone is showing you something, you don't pick it up as quick as if you are doing it yourself.
Right.
Like, you learn quicker. I'm going through training right now, and if someone is telling me something, yeah, I'll understand it. But if I get hands on and do it myself, that's when I learn. You know what I mean?
You're more of a hands-on learner. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Some people can be told and do it like from the book, but some people need to actually physically be doing it. That's how I am. I'd rather put my hands on and get dirty and learn that way. So Cinnamon Kiss said, I love CJ's toughness and heart, but Jimmy G is a boss. So this is just a feel that are coming out of the room. I mean, it looks like a lot of people are saying that.
I don't understand.
Look, I have zero doubt in my mind that we won't have Jimmy Garoppolo as our starting quarterback. I honestly 100% believe he'll be the starting quarterback next week. That being said, I've been wrong whenever I said 100% sure before. So, it could happen, but I don't even think – I think he's going to be the starting quarterback no matter what Kyle just said in the press conference. The head coach thing to say.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. So, listen, man. Can you guys – I'm going to go back to Ali. Can you tell me something other than Garoppolo getting – 1 minute and 6 seconds of playing time? Can you tell me something positive from this game? Like, seriously, and I'm not kidding. I want to try to be serious now. Let's put down the Garoppolo talk really quick. We got to talk about the future of this team, because Nick and I were asked a question during our live, I think it was Periscope, or was it IG? Someone asked us, do we go offensive tackle that first pick this year? So we got to know what we're good at. We got to know what we're bad at. So let's start with what we're good at. Can you guys tell me something? Oh, wait. Before I get off the Garoppolo thing, I just reminded myself. I don't want to hear, oh, these guys haven't had enough time here. Garoppolo's been here for a month now. All right? There were 2 guys on our defense today that have played more than Aaron Lynch, who has been here all year. Okay? These were guys that we picked up this week. This week we picked these guys up, and they played significant snaps. So don't tell me, and I know it's a quarterback position is different, and it's more diverse and all. Yeah, I get all that crap. You know, more intricate details and all that. I understand all that. But don't tell me that Jimmy Garoppolo can't go in there and run a couple of plays for us if we need to. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and give me some positive stuff, Ali.
I liked Brock Coyle today. I mentioned it in the group. I liked him. He looked pretty good today. Breida looked good in his few snaps that he had, limited snaps. Joe Staley, I liked what I saw out of him, especially battling back from that injury. I liked both of our new guys, Sheldon Day and Cassius Marsh. Both look good in work that they did get in, because I know they were rotating in and out. So they both looked all right. That's about it. Honestly, there wasn't many other positives, to be honest with you, other than that, for personally what I saw. It's too many negatives to touch on, but for the positives, that's about it. Can't even really say anything good about Hyde. He didn't have his best game. I liked Marquise Goodwin not giving up there. He got injured, taped his ankle back up, got back out there. Other than that, I'm grasping at straws here, looking for positives, because this was not a game where you could look at positives. We're on to Chicago. That's the positive.
All right, Hoodie. I hear you. What about you, Dylan? What positives you got? I know Dylan has something else, man.
Man, I was
Hey,
about
Mike.
to make the Bill
Hey, Mike. Do you mind
reference there.
moving over a bit? We can't really see you that well on the screen.
Really?
Yeah.
I see you fine.
I don't want to be in.
We're like in the middle.
I mean, we got to split pretty good here.
It's all right. You big boys still here. Look.
All right, Dylan, what you got, man? Give me something positive.
Look, up until the second half, I thought our defense played pretty well. I mean, obviously they're going to start sucking because C.J. Beathard's out there for a total of 3 seconds every drive. So, I mean, they're going to be on the field over and over again. I thought the defense played well, especially for a young defense. Ahkello Witherspoon had some nice plays for me. I think I'd like to get someone more CB1 quality, but if I had Ahkello Witherspoon as my CB2, I'd be happy with that. If he's our CB1 going into next year, I think he'll have learned enough that I won't be thrilled, but I'll be able to deal with. Our defense looked better than it has in some games. Our secondary still doesn't look good. We give up too many third down passes. That's how teams kill us every time. If we somehow manage to stop them for a few plays, they just throw a pass on third down, and they get it. I mean, that's just what it is to beat our defense. So I thought our defense played a pretty good game.
I want to piggyback on that. Actually, go ahead. I know you agree with that too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the defense playing a decent game. And me and Mike were talking during the game. Do you realize how many sacks we would have if as much pressure as we have, if we could actually hit the goddamn quarterback and tackle behind the line of scrimmage?
Russell Wilson was wrapped up at least 5 or 6 times today, and just slithered out of that shit. Like, there was the worst one was Tank Carradine just fucking like mauled him like a bear, and he still got out of it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm yelling. My wife is like, bad language. I'm like, whatever, man. Fuck this guy. He's pissing me off. But it's only so much a defense can do with the quick 3 and outs and stuff like that, the turnarounds. Like, and I think that's what Nick was getting to. You know, people are saying the Niners don't have a defense. I beg to differ. The Niners' offense is so bad that it's actually dragging the defense down. And
it's the Chip Kelly years all over.
Yeah. And when we do positive shit on offense, on defense, the fucking refs are so shocked by it that they have to throw a flag. Like that bullshit call on Ahkello Witherspoon in the end zone. Or was it Dante Johnson? No, that was Dante Johnson.
Yeah.
The one time Dante Johnson doesn't hold or do a pass interference, they throw the flag anyway because they just fucking expect it.
And it should have been OPI.
It should have been an offensive pass interference. He was fucking tackled by Baldwin. Yet here we are, throwing the flag, giving Seattle the ball on the 1 yard line. You know what I like the most about that whole little situation that happened? They came back from commercial break, and Dante Johnson was still in the fucking face of that ref saying, look at it. And if you read the ref's lips, he said, I can't take it back now. Like, the ref actually said it. So I think Johnson got him to admit or realize that he fucked up.
And Kyle Shanahan, too.
What was that?
And Kyle Shanahan, too.
Yeah, absolutely. But, like, the defense actually had a really good game while they weren't gassed, man. If we could sustain drives just a little – I'm not even saying we got to score on all of them, but give these guys a fucking breather for a little bit. All of a sudden, we got a really, really good defense here, man. Now, not everything about the defense is good. So is there anything else positive you want to add before we get to the negative shit?
I thought special teams was all right, as it always has been. I like Raheem Mostert, man, being that gunner. I mean, he's down there quick. He's usually down there hitting the receiver, punt receiver, whatever.
Speaking of special teams, what was up with Bradley Pinion? I saw a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I was just gonna say. Gunners and stuff like that, but Bradley Pinion was not punting well today. I don't know if it was the wind or what, because you notice the one punt, when he was kicking one way towards the field, he was punting really, really well. And Seattle was punting when they did punt or kicking field goals, not so well. So the wind direction was a little bit crazy today. I'm not worried about Bradley Pinion. I think he just had a bad game, but he didn't have a good game today at all. I can definitely agree with that.
I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if it had something to do with the wind or what, but it was insane to sit back and watch how, like, the strength of the team were like really being tested today. Bradley Pinion is usually a solid punter, and this season, last year or in his rookie year and all, it was a little iffy, but this year I don't know. Today, he just wasn't himself. I don't know what it was. I don't know if the ball was coming off his foot different or what, but it wasn't the same. Whatever. He had a bad game, bad couple of punts. Shit, maybe his leg was worn out also. Didn't he punt like 8 times in the first half? Or no, not the first half. I know at one point I heard them say Bradley Pinion had punted 8 times already.
Yeah, 6 or 7 times.
I mean, like, come on, fuck, dude. And he's doing kickoffs, and the first kickoff, the ball falls off of the tee and everything. I mean, it wasn't just him. It was just a lot of weird shit going on today with the wind and everything. So, I mean, it is what it is. I want to talk about the negatives, though. I really, really want to get to the negatives. And I'm going to kick it off with our defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. For the most part, this guy calls a solid game. But why the fuck did this man always have a defensive lineman dropping back in coverage? There is no logical explanation as to why we should see Ronald Blair III on Jimmy fucking Graham 14, 25, 40 yards down the field. It's uncalled for. Why is it happening? Like, I can't stand that shit, and he does it every single week. My brain's literally gonna explode, guys. Like,
he's going dumb. You know that Marshawn Lynch dance? He went dumb.
Yeah, like, seriously, I just don't like. I'm sorry. That's gonna be my negative. That's where I'm gonna start. It's gonna be the defensive play calling, because it's not just sending out those defensive linemen, but it's the rushing 3 on 3rd and long.
Yeah, that got better though.
What do you mean it got better?
They didn't do that the whole game.
They didn't. They stopped it after the second half.
Yeah.
Because we realized we got to keep the pressure on them.
They need to keep the pressure on them.
But he's been doing it all year long. We finally get a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 when we know they're passing. And what does he do? He only rushes 3.
And we don't get home. And drops the lineman back in coverage.
Yeah. Like, he's got to stop doing that shit, man. He's got to stop doing it. So,
somebody from the media has got to ask them why he does that.
This is exactly why nothing but Niners can't get media passes. Because they don't want a guy like me in the fucking press room. Excuse me, coach. Coach, what the fuck was that? You know this play right here? What were you doing? Let me know what you
Why the fuck is Ronald Blair III in coverage 15, 24, 40 yards downfield?
They don't want me.
Can you please get a media pass and ask him that?
I mean,
that would make my life.
It's not a dumb question.
It's a very logical question.
I mean, my negatives today, man, is just fucking everything, man.
Really? Everything?
Everything but Garoppolo, man.
Come on. Carlos Hyde had
Carlos Hyde had a decent game, but C.J. Beathard was trying to get his ass killed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was airmailing everything, bro. Everything. You got to jump up and receive balls in the flats, like you're going downfield for a jump ball.
Yeah, and getting his thighs blown up and everything. He even got Juszczyk like that also. Juszczyk got his legs blown up. Yeah,
almost fumbled on that one.
He's gonna get someone killed out there, man.
The most amazing play was fucking Trent Taylor spinning around. Like, what the hell? How did his body even do that shit? He was like
on his back, fumbled the ball. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. He didn't even have the ball there.
Yeah, he never caught it.
That was a great play, though. That was a great play by them. It really was.
Oh, by them. You guys, I don't know if you guys saw almost punch Nick. I thought he was saying it was a great play by us.
No, that was a great play by the defender, man. You can't take anything away from that. That was definitely a decent play. But man, we should have played a lot better today, man. I think our offenses should have did a lot better, and I really do think that. I'm not saying we would have won the game, but the offense would have definitely played a lot better with Jimmy Garoppolo behind center.
Absolutely. And like I said, not everything was bad. Also, I do want to give respect to someone. Akello Witherspoon had a really, really solid game, and also Eric Reed. Eric Reed had a good game also. I like what I saw from Eric Reed. Foster, you can tell he's still a rookie, man. There's some plays. Do you guys remember the play where Russell Wilson was running right towards him and he just like
he got his
shit out of
his ankles bit up.
Like, that was bad. That was pretty bad.
Mike almost ripped my head off and shit down my neck on that play.
I don't
Just
even
so you
know
know.
what that means. But yeah, I was losing it though. I don't know what that means, but I was definitely losing it. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Just hit him. So Dylan, give me something negative. Give me something negative that you got. What's your biggest negative of the game?
Biggest negative. I mean, you guys hit most of the things that I wanted. Obviously, like with every game, our offensive line was kind of a negative. Not having Trent Brown in there definitely hurt us. He is a very good part of that offensive line. I mean, C.J. Beathard obviously had a lot of negative times. Throwing it 3 feet over Carlos Hyde's head is never the formula for success. And I mean, defense, while you could see some plays that Reuben Foster definitely had his rookie show, you could also see the plays where he had his savage show whenever he chased down whatever that really fast dude on Seattle is. I can't remember. I don't bother to learn Seahawks players' names. But, I mean, he chased him down on the sidelines, one of the fastest players on the field at that time, and he beat him to the sidelines. So, I mean, that was a good play. Other than that, I mean, our defense got tired. I guess my biggest negative is our offense was so bad it hurt our defense.
Yeah. Ali, man, you're up, bro. Bring that negative, man. Tell me what you got.
So many, man. Number one, Dante Johnson. This guy is fucking dookie, man. He is trash. I hate Dante Johnson, man. This guy, we need. It's gonna be nice seeing some new blood on out at corner next year. Not a good game by him. Our entire offensive line, maybe minus Joe Staley, Laken Tomlinson blown up. Whoever the guy was filling in for Trent Brown, blown up. Was that who filled in for Trent Brown? Was it
Magnuson,
right? Yeah, just had a brutal game. Him and Tomlinson. What else? Our safeties weren't that great either. We were missing. We're down to our fourth string or practice squad safeties. I don't even know, man. Just brutal. Kyle Juszczyk. Didn't really see enough from him. This guy's getting paid what, $5-6 million a year. He's a OW. What OW? He's a NO, man. He's not an option for us.
Bro, you gotta have an offense to have an offensive weapon. Like
even so, he's fucking getting paid his contract. Like you need a little bit more from him, man. I don't care, man.
About the fact that C.J. Beathard throws it over his head every play. Now, he shouldn't fumble in other games like he has. I'm not going to say he's worth the money. I just like messing with Yali.
That's all good. No, but like, Juszczyk's kind of not necessarily this game in general, but it's just kind of an overall season thing for Juszczyk. He's just, even with Hoyer, he was not effective at all. So Juszczyk, Pinion, you guys hit on. The inability to get Russell Wilson down. And I know it's Russell Wilson, but you are behind him, and like Tank Carradine, you're behind him, and go for his legs. Don't tackle him on the shoulders or something, or up high, because he'll slip away. This guy is like Vaseline, man. He's slippery as fuck. I don't know. Like it's inability to get Wilson down. It was huge. Every time this guy was slipping away, I just like, oh God, I was just shaking my head.
Let me ask you guys something about that, right? Just off the top of your head, just give me a quick ass answer. I'm gonna go Ali, then Dylan, then Nick. All right. San Francisco or Seattle? Which team allowed more quarterback pressures today? Ali,
San Francisco.
Dylan.
I mean, I would say San Francisco, but the reason you're asking makes it seem fishy. So I want to say Seattle now.
I mean, but based off of what you saw, which team did it look like the quarterback? Not don't look at just sacks.
Off of what I saw, I
quarterback
would
was
say
under
San
more
Francisco,
pressure?
but you're up to something. I know you.
Now he wants to be right. And I'm going with Seattle.
Then I'm going with
Yeah.
Seattle too.
All right.
Dilly. You didn't give it back to me. What the fuck? You left me hanging.
He left you hanging, bro. But no,
Is he frozen?
I think he froze. Yeah, there's no way he's holding that dumbass face like that, right?
You're straight froze, bro. That's a good profile picture.
He's still
though.
frozen. He's still all right. But no, my point though is this: I don't know the answer, but the truth is, I
You
think
didn't even know the answer.
no, I don't. I just wanted you guys rapid
I thought you were
response.
screwing with me.
No, man.
Let me just say this one more time.
I just wanted to get you guys' opinions on it because I felt like
But I'm going back with San Francisco because there's no way we.
I'm willing to bet that Russell Wilson was under more pressure than CJ Beathard was.
I'm returning your Christmas gift. Yours, Dylan. You fucking bailed out on me.
With the
Dilly.
Maybe he responded. Maybe he did respond and froze.
No, then he switched back. He said, "Oh, I'm going back to San Francisco because you didn't know the stats."
I don't know, but I can't wait till PFF releases the numbers. I'm willing to bet that it's a lot closer than what people think. What the game showed.
Here's a serious question though. So Steven Rencher says, "I have a Hangout account. How can I talk to you guys? I got people as well who would be interested as well. Just send us a message. Should Kyle Shanahan hire?
You got to tell them where to send us a message. You guys can get at us if you guys are interested in being on the show with us. You guys, the best way to contact us is on Twitter. We're at nothing but 9 ERS, or you guys can send us an email, nothingbutniners@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, but on Twitter is nothing but 9 ERS. If you guys are interested in being on the show,
or you can go to the website and just send a comment.
Yeah. That's right. Nothingbutniners.com, and just hit the comment and send us a message, and we'll definitely get you guys on the show. We're not going to be doing that tonight though, but we definitely will be doing that in the future because we like getting a lot of the fans' interactions and things like that on here. I know you wanted to shout a couple of people out in the group chat also.
Yeah, big shout out to David Lopez,
Ryan Hudson.
A lot of our key followers, man, they're always going to bat for us, always. Really appreciate you guys. But I have one quick question.
Before you get to that question, there's some clown in here that said the Niners are 1-10. Why are you guys doing a live reaction show? They suck.
I'm sorry, I forgot that we weren't allowed to do that after.
Yeah,
1-10.
Check it out, fuckface. What happens is, okay, we're here whether we win or lose. Okay, so it's not like we're just gonna be like, oh well, we're a good team, so let's go ahead and talk about them. No, we'll talk about them when we're bad also.
And you're a Seahawks fan trolling.
Yeah, like don't just pop in trying to troll. Oh, why are you doing a reaction show? Why are you watching a reaction show that's not yours? So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We'll be doing shows even in the off season, man. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Parrish Bradford also, big shout out to him as well. He's always in here. But Rob Amon says, should Kyle Shanahan hire an offensive coordinator next season?
Yes.
Wait, you guys saw something today that makes you think that? Dylan
I felt like that for a while.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought something happened today.
Yes.
Yo, niggas got jokes, man. Niggas got jokes.
I think no.
We know Ali feels that way, right?
Man,
feels what way?
Should Shanahan hire an offensive coordinator in the offseason?
No.
Yeah.
This guy is one of the most brilliant offensive minds in football. Look what he did in Atlanta. He doesn't have shit to work. He doesn't have shit to work with here. Give him some weapons, and then we'll see. If after next year he's struggling with better weapons in this, then I will change my mind. But it's what 13 games or 12 games into a 16-game season in his first year, and you already want to write him off as OC? Come on, man.
No. That's
Come
not what I
on,
want to do
man.
at all. That's not even close to what I want to do. I think he is. I agree. He's got one of the best offensive minds in football. But the fact of the matter is, he's hired there to be a head coach. He's supposed to take care of both sides of the football. And if you're functioning as an offensive coordinator and a head coach, you got to go talk to your quarterback and be like, all right, this is what happened on that last play. That's you being an offensive coordinator. Meanwhile, the defense is out there. Something happens, and you don't know what's happening because you're talking to your quarterback. You got to have somebody that you can implant everything in your brain into an offensive coordinator. Have him talk to your quarterback. That way you can pay attention to the whole field. That's the job of a head coach.
Send that guy.
So you're basically saying get himself a puppet, the guy that knows the plays you want to call,
Yes.
right? I mean, I get it, but I also
the plays are still going to run through him. He gets he makes the decisions. I mean, he can just say no, that play's stupid, or I mean,
another question one too.
So then why hire an offensive coordinator then if you're going to override him anyway and then change the play? And
because what's going to happen is the offensive coordinator that knows your system is going to sit there, and his job is to pay attention. All right, what worked on that last drive? Okay, so what can work on the next one? Meanwhile, Kyle Shanahan can't be doing that while he's trying to make sure the defense is on the field doing everything right too. He's got a job as a head coach. He needs somebody that can do the little jobs of the offensive coordinator. He is still an offensive-minded head coach, and he's still going to have the most impact on the offense. But he needs somebody that's going to do the little jobs of the offensive coordinator.
he has an offensive assistant though. You guys know that, right? He just doesn't. No one has the official title of offensive coordinator. He's calling the plays himself, and that's So I guess that's what we got to kind of figure out because what you're describing to me is an offensive assistant. He's got one of those. An offensive coordinator is here's the playbook, and you just go ahead and go through it. Like I don't know if you guys remember, it was a big deal that Mike McCarthy was giving up his play calling responsibilities in Green Bay a couple years ago. Because he actually got an offensive coordinator and let that guy do it. Now, there's other teams where you have a defensive-minded head coach and they come up with their own playbook. You bring in an offensive coordinator with their own playbook. We want Kyle Shanahan's playbook. I think we all agree with that. We want his playbook, I think what we want to make sure he's got as an offensive assistant because then a coordinator is going to come with their own playbook if I'm not mistaken. So I guess we're talking about semantics here. We're arguing over like little tiny details. I do think he needs a little bit more help with what plays to call or when to call them. And
Jay Moreno said $10 Gary Kubiak's going to be the offensive coordinator next year.
I'll take that bet 100 times.
I'll take that bet. I like $10.
Yeah,
right. That's free money.
Just saying.
Right
I have another question for you guys. Do you guys agree with this? A good quarterback can make an O-line look better.
I'm not answering until the end.
I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo proved that you can kind of do it in his last 3 plays, considering C.J. Beathard was not playing as a good quarterback, and we looked like trash and couldn't score a touchdown all night. He came in with the exact same O-line, the exact same trash surroundings, and he scored a touchdown. I mean, it helps a little bit, but in the full spectrum of the game, it wouldn't have. I don't want to say the outcome of the game would have changed, just because it could have, but I don't want to say it did. It would have.
No, but I mean, no, you don't have to say the outcome or anything like that. But can a good quarterback make a bad offensive line look better than what they are?
Better, yes.
Yeah.
Ali, what do you think about that? And I keep muting you because your background is loud, Ali, and it's messing with the stuff. That's why I muted you.
Sorry. I'm just watching SNF. What's it called? Well, Russell Wilson's proved that in a bad offensive line, a good QB can make a bad offensive line great. Same with Tom Brady. Tom Brady hasn't had elite offensive line throughout his entire career. He has, in fact, I'd say he has probably bottom 10 O line this year, but he's just that damn good that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, and this goes back to what I was asking originally about which team was allowing more pressure. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I was alluding to, is that I think we got after Russell Wilson just as much as they got after C.J. Beathard. The difference is Russell Wilson was escaping a lot more. He was maneuvering in the pocket. He would get outside the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
There was a couple plays where CJ could have cut upfield instead of trying to go outside.
That one play you were flipping out.
Oh, I was flipping because he had the lane, and instead he gave the angle to the defender.
Yeah.
Instead of cutting upfield, he tried to get right to the sideline.
He made himself an easier target to be tackled.
Yeah.
And Nick was like, "Why didn't he just cut up yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about." But so I think the answer is yes. Can a good quarterback make a bad offensive line look better than what they are?
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying Aaron Rodgers does it all the time.
Russell Wilson does it all the time. Peyton Manning. I don't know if you guys remember this, but they had the same offensive line after Peyton Manning went down when, what was it, Orlovsky? I think the guy, what was the quarterback's name? I think it was Dan Orlovsky was the quarterback that year when Peyton went down. And he got murdered behind that offensive line. And Peyton Manning's not a mobile guy.
Aaron Rodgers makes an awful team look like a playoff team.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's absolutely possible.
And then just another going back to the offensive coordinator, somebody said, I think Mike McCoy could be an option. And Jay Austin says, CJ definitely holds on to the ball too long.
He holds on to the ball way too long. And
then makes stupid decisions with it.
And he struggles throwing to the flat. I don't understand how he just can't do this.
Look, you can't struggle throwing deep end to the flat. You got to pick one.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You can only suck at one thing.
Yeah.
You can only suck at one thing.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I appreciate everybody who stopped in here to take a look at us today, guys. Again, guys, if you haven't already, I'm not going to throw out everything. Just go to nothingbutniners.com. I tried to type it in the chat, but I forgot that YouTube frowns upon links being posted in the room because of spam and things like that, so I get it. But www.nothingbutniners.com, there you will find our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button if you guys like what you saw today. You will find our podcast. You'll find our Twitter, our Snapchat, our Instagram. Everything is there, guys. So make sure you guys check us out. Okay, we got a podcast from you guys very, very soon. Ali, you got any final thoughts you want to leave everybody with?
We're winning next week if Jimmy G is starting.
And what if Beathard starts?
It's another boring L.
We'll see. All right.
Yeah. That's my prediction. If you think differently, hit me up on Twitter at ALIYAZ01.
That's a Z for you people who don't know. YAZ.
Just don't block him. he will come back at you in a year.
Even a year later.
Oh man. Yo, Dylan was so serious with that shit. He's like,
just don't block it.
And they was like, that's funny as shit.
All right, anything else, Ali? We're going to pass it to Dylan.
All right, Dilly. You're up.
Final thoughts. I think if Jimmy Garoppolo plays, we could win. I said this last week. I don't really want to win too many more games. This season's a wash for me. Obviously, I'll be excited anytime the 49ers win a football game just because the 49ers won a football game. It doesn't happen that often these days. But, I mean, at this point, we're playing for the future, not for this year. If we can trade away – if Jimmy Garoppolo looks that good and we can trade away an early round pick for somebody that needs a quarterback, then let's do it. I mean –
that's another reason I'm excited to get him in there is because
we got to see what the fuck we got. Yeah,
we got to see what we have.
I was talking to somebody about this earlier today. Everybody that's traded up for quarterbacks in those first two picks, you know what the going rate is. It's this year's first round, next year's first round, and some more. I mean, that's the going rate. If we can get a second first-round pick for next year, that's going to be great for our team. So, I mean – that's why I don't really say I care too much about winning too many more games. At the end of the day, this season's a wash. There's nothing to expect from the end of this season. Obviously, I'll be happy anytime we win a game, but I mean, that's my final thoughts.
I believe the 49ers are officially mathematically eliminated from playoffs now. So,
final answer?
Final answer.
You like to phone a friend?
My final thoughts are: I do want to say one thing though. I still want to see us get some wins. I love this team too much to see them go out there and not try to win. And I feel like if we trot CJ Beathard out there, that's exactly what we're doing. We're purposely trying not to win. I'm not so much concerned about where we draft as much as I'm concerned about who we draft. And you can get your guy. You like you said, there's a going rate for things. If there's a guy that you want that you got to move up for, fucking go get him. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way I feel about it. I mean, we had how many years under Trent Baalke where we had good draft position and 12 to 14 picks every year, and none of those guys are in the fucking NFL right now. I heard Joe Looney's name said the other day on Thanksgiving. He's like of the Cowboys.
It's Looney. It's Tooney. That's all.
We got to get this guy out of here. It's getting late for this guy. No, but my point is though, it's not about how many draft picks you get or where you're drafting. It's about who you're drafting. That's all. That's my final thought is this. I want to see wins. I want to see Jimmy Garoppolo. And if Robert Saleh happens to see this, sir, please, I beg of you, stop sending my defensive linemen out in coverage. Yes, just stop. It's not fun. It's not funny. It's not cute. Like when those guys go home,
send them an email. When
those guys go home, their women are looking at them like, babe, what the fuck was that? Like you're hurting these guys. Like you're emasculating these guys. Like cut it out, man. Like you're not doing anybody any favors, especially the team. So please stop it. Take this home.
Jimmy. Bada bing, bada boom. Above all else, stay faithful. We out.